Hey folks, welcome back to another Dice Tower preview. I'm Mark, and today we're taking a look at the Secrets of Zorro, which is brought to you by Double Combo Games. It's for 1 to 4 players, ages 10 and up, and games generally run about 45 to 60 minutes. It is 1840, and a sad day has come to pass when your father, Don Diego de la Vega, the legendary sword fighter better known as Zorro, passed away. While we honor his memory, we must also defend his legacy. The new governor is cruel and a selfish man with dastardly plans. He is building an army with the money he grabs from the local people and aims to conquer the entire state of California. The game is divided into days and nights. During the day, you will act as local nobles, using this facade to blend in while gathering as much information as possible about the governor's plans. At night, you will don your mask and costume to set ambushes for the governor's soldiers and thwart his plans. You win the game if you defeat the governor, thus removing him from power. To do this, you must attack the citadel once all the soldiers have been defeated. You lose the game if the governor's plan is fully implemented, meaning the governor's plan counter reaches its last space on the track, or if simply time runs out. It is up to you and your siblings to stop him, with your father's lessons in mind, his allies at hand, and a few secrets left hidden for you. You must step out from Zorro's shadow and write your own legends. This is a fully cooperative game, so you as one of Zorro's children will receive this player board, taking on the role of one of those characters. On this board you'll have your cunning, you'll have advantages that you've received, and below, cards that you put into play, as well as wounds you've suffered on this board. You do get a deck of cards, a series of cards that you'll use in battle when you go into battle at night. And on these attack cards, at the very bottom, you'll see what type of attack it is, how much damage you're going to do to the foes, and at the very top, it'll show how many soldiers you can hit in this attack. And there's many different cards here, and you even can acquire more through the course of the game. But as you take damage, you have to randomly place one of these cards into your damage slot until you get healed up. And lastly, you receive a number of standees based on player count, but these are your workers that you'll be putting out in the day, and then at night you'll be placing one out as you pick a location to ambush the soldiers and caravans, whatever they're doing, trying to eliminate them from the board. At the bottom of the board are your 2 tracks. First we have the day or time track, where you'll be moving along and placing events for each day. Now, based on the day will determine how many events you put in the market, the citadel, and the tavern. And there's also bonuses to be had that you can gain as well. But again, if you don't defeat the governor in time and it reaches the end, you're going to lose the game. The governor track is very much the same. It reaches the very top and you lose the game. So you really need to be efficient about what you're doing and get those soldiers eliminated so you can take on the governor. At the start of the day phase, you'll go to the story deck and read the information for that day, day 1, day 2, day 3, and so forth. On day 1, though, you have an introductory card, and you'll move into that day 1 card, which then will have a bonus of some sort on all the day cards at the end of the card that you can collect. Day 1, Don Diego, your father, has passed away peacefully. Surrounded by his loved ones, he leaves you the Hacienda de la Vega and the surrounding lands, as well as some gold. The rest he had distributed to the poor. The greatest wealth he has passed on to you are many of his skills as both Diego and Zorro, and most importantly, his sense of justice. Each player will draw 1 advantage card. During the day phase of the game, it's very much a worker placement game, and it is cooperative, and there's really no turns to be had. Everyone will just be placing their workers out and making it a discussion about who goes where and what makes most sense. So lots of different things here. You're trying to get information about what's going to be happening at night so you know where to ambush. So the 3, again, locations for that are the tavern, the citadel, and the market. Now, you're going to have to pay in gold if you go to the citadel in order to reveal those different types of events. But if you go to the tavern, you're going to be using your cunning to reveal cards. And if you just go to the market, you get to reveal cards, but you also can buy gear, which is awesome. So, and there's several different spots at those different locations, so multiple players can go there. Now, there's also the doctor. You can get healed, but there's only a limited number of spaces for that. And there's also farmland where you can get gold, which is very important. And again, limited numbers, but the most limited is the secret cave where Zorro kept a lot of his goodies. So you can find all kinds of things here, like Tornado, his horse, or you can find Zorro's whip or his technique of using the whip. Lots of different things and how you use these cards, and they're used in various ways. Some are attack cards that go to your attack deck. Others are gear that you're going to be using. Now, important thing about gear in general is that you can't have multiple whips or multiple swords. You have to have one of each type, so you got to make some tough decisions when you're swapping things out. And the last place you can visit is the Hacienda de la Vega, and here you'll be training. These are advantage cards you can pick up. You can draw 2, and it has spots for 3 players. Now, these advantage cards are going to do all kinds of different things, like add cunning to the power of your next attack, or give you gold, or give you the ability to reveal an event card or gain gold, or there's even first aid that you can have and use. So when you get these advantage cards, you can hold on to them. You don't have to use them right away, which is a key thing for sure. So as you can see, the day phase is all about gearing up for the night phase, basically. You're gonna be learning new skills, getting cars, getting equipment, and just kind of preparing yourself to ambush the guards or the soldiers and the caravans, whatever it might be, and getting ready for that night phase. And obviously the big part of that is you don't want to be surprised by these events. You really need to discover what's happening and what you're gonna be planning for at night. And thematically, I love, like, if you visit the tavern, you're going to be using your cunning to listen in on the soldiers and see what might be going on. So you'll draw a number of cards here based on your cunning level. But here we have the big gold convoy, and you'll see where it is in the north. It might be in the west or the east, but it'll show you on the card where it goes. And in the right part of the card, it'll show if it happens during the day or during the night, because sometimes these events can trigger in the day. And if you pull one of those cards, it immediately triggers and you do what it says. But this card is going to show you where it goes. Like I said, this one goes in the north. And if you defeat the soldiers, which will be 3, then you will gain 5 gold that you can distribute among all the players. So you're going to have some interesting choices about where you place at night in order to ambush. And of course, these events can have negative effects as well. So in the case, again, of this big gold convoy, if you fail on this card, it will raise the governor's track by 3. So you need to be very mindful about which cards you're taking on and where you're going for that night phase. So once you've completed all your actions in the day phase, you've learned all that you can learn, you've gained new skills, you got new equipment, whatever, then it's time to position yourself for the night phase, and you pick one of the roads to go on, and each player could spread out and go to a different road, or you can combine your forces to take on a particular tough area that's happening for that night and ambush the soldiers. But keep in mind that you will only be visiting one of the roads, so if you do combine your forces, the other events of that night are going to be lost. However, you do get special things, like if you have Tornado, this allows you to visit 2 areas or 2 different road spots for the night phase. So as you take on the different events of the night, you will be fighting soldiers. So when you pull soldiers from the deck, you'll start them on the rightmost spot and move them across on this middle center line. And whoever's on the furthest left is who is in the front, so to say. So you'll be mindful on your attack cards on who you're hitting and how many of the soldiers you can attack. So you'll be doing that, and you'll put a number of cubes based on the soldier's health on each of the cards. So as you do damage, you can start to remove the cubes and obviously eventually eliminate them, right? So you'll do that with each of the events as they call for it. Now again, not all events are going to have soldiers to fight. There's just several different types of events. And again, if you get any day events at the night that you didn't uncover, those are just lost as well. So it's all about trying to fulfill or defeat each of the events that you can on that particular part of the road, or you might take all kinds of damage, or you could fast track the governor to a win. And again, any roads not covered, those events are going to be lost. But as you use your attack cards to go after the soldiers, each of those cards can only be used once on the night phase. So once you run out of attack cards and you haven't defeated all the soldiers, then you're going to lose and take the consequences. Absolutely. And if you run out of soldiers, they're all defeated, that deck is gone, then it's time to take on the governor at the Citadel. However, you will get to move to the last day phase to prepare yourself and so forth. But he's going to get a ton of soldiers that you use in this final battle based on his level on his governor track. So keep that in mind as you prepare for that last end game. And there are cards, story cards, for defeat, for victory that you'll read at the end as well. And those are really the basics of play. And as you engage with this, it is super thematic, absolutely. But you do hope to come out victorious. Alright folks, just a reminder once again, this has been a Dice Tower paid preview, and everything you've seen here has been in prototype form, so keep a close eye on the campaign for any changes that still may occur. Now with that said, I'm a huge Zorro fan. Thematically, this game definitely does not disappoint. It has that same vibe as Zorro, as Batman, same kind of feel, but what I really like is that you're building up your characters to be that next Zorro, trying to take on the governor and foil his plans. But folks, ultimately, if this looks like something of interest to you, I'm sure they'd appreciate your support. So I think that's it for me, and until next time, we'll see you at the table.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you like this review or whatever you just watched, wasn't it amazing? Check out our channel, Dice Tower. We have all kinds of things. We review games, we do top 10s, we play games live. It's all about board games, but especially the people who play them. Check out Dice Tower YouTube channel.